In coming days, we will see the greatest manifestations of the Savior's power that the world has ever seen. Between now and the time he returns with power and great glory,
construction on Temple Square, which is one of Utah's biggest tourist attractions, has now been pushed back another year.
Work on the iconic landmark is now set to be completed in 2026.
Travis Wayne Goodsell. So, Fox 13 News Utah is reporting tonight that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints' reconstruction on the Salt Lake Temple Square, is again being delayed for yet another year. The news made a mistake. They were letting us believe that it was going to be finished in 2025. So they've forgotten that that was the latest extension prior to this one that they came out with today. Because in the beginning, that's when they were projecting, and the projections came from those who were contracted to do the job for the April 2024 General Conference. And so I caught on to that, did videos on it, and then the church comes out and says, oh, delayed for a year, 2025. And I touched on it not too long ago, I think, here in this new apartment. And so that's kind of funny that, again, I talk about it and it gets extended another year. So what does this mean? Because the Salt Lake Temple is the headquarters of the church, and Fox 13 News Utah is saying that Utah tourism sucks now because the Temple Square is the biggest drawer of tourism. And so with the temple closed and now being extended 2 years beyond projection, downtown Salt Lake is noticeably hurting, not just because of COVID, but many stores are boarded up, having closed, moved out. Though the Eborn Books, that's right there on downtown, I found out that they had closed because the landlord demanded higher rent, and that forced them out. So I don't know what that was all about. If for some reason he's an anti-Mormon, but it's good to get books there. You know, you can get the original edition of Mormon Doctrine, and where is it? I had to move it. The Way to Perfection. I got it from that bookstore through Amazon, and so yeah, I was wondering if my purchase of that book coincided, and not quite. I got that book after. It was in 2021, and they were being forced out at the end of 2019, so 2020, I think, if I remember right from the article. But I was still purchasing other books from them. So, if you don't think the church is that vengeful, you don't know the church. But he was pro-church, though. He sold a lot of the old church books. But, so yeah, I must have... Well, because I got it through the online. I didn't know that the store was gone. He says in the article that he would definitely be selling online, but whether he'd get another building or not, he didn't know. Anyway, so it's a bigger deal than this, that Utah's losing money, as it's keeping people from moving in who are wealthy, and keeping people from moving in who are within the state because the prices are too high for people. This place, I got the last one at the discounted rate. And if I didn't force the people at the shelter to keep their promise to me and pay for the initial payments, I would never be able to get in here. It's just too expensive to move into a place, let alone move. Dear God, $700 for the moving company. And if I had to pay for that, I wouldn't be able to afford it. It's just too expensive in Utah. People are having so many different businesses that require our needing them for service that it becomes too expensive to live in Utah, let alone trying to sue the church. You can't do it pro se. You have to get a lawyer. And people take advantage of that when they know you don't have a lawyer or can't afford one. But that's Utah. Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Say the name over and over, repeatedly. Because it violates Jesus' will. That just blows my mind. Nelson says Jesus is offended if we don't say his name repeatedly. And yet, right there in the Doctrine and Covenants, out of respect and reverence for the name, which is supposed to be revelation from God, and Mormons believe it's Jesus. Unbelievable. Nelson everything he says, it's just laughable. If it wasn't that he was encoding it all. That's the thing, is that all of it is coded material for his white power Jesus to take over the government and restore the kingdom. And so, yes, this delays the establishment of the millennial kingdom now. As Nelson has been saying, we're going to see great miracles in the coming days. Jesus' power before his second coming. We're going to have to delay another year. Is Jesus going to be angry and smite me down? And if you're unfamiliar with contractors here in Utah, it's a scam operation, plain and simple. Oh, man, even my parents were involved with the scam, as well as the church and the government. The shelters, for example, likewise. All the news stories that I hear about buildings being built always get delayed because the construction workers have to bid for the work. And it's supposed to be the lowest bidder gets it. And when you get the lowest bidder, they then start working. And then all of a sudden, we don't have enough money to finish the job. You're going to have to pay us or we're just going to have to quit. It's an extortion racket. And so, yeah, this is what the church what's being done to the church here. The people who got the contract to work on the building, and this is, a relative who's in the field who's doing the job here. So it's not like the church was doing a government bidding thing. This is nepotism, plain and simple. Somebody's relative is involved. And so they're still pulling the same stunt. They're trying to make sure that he and his workers have job security. And it's just such a corrupt system. And but yeah, they're forcing the church to pay more money now, because the longer it takes, the more money they have to pay. And it was billions, from what I understand, for the temple. And maybe even 32 billion. I'm sorry, you have to have followed me for a very long time to get that joke. And and so this means that the church's plans for the millennial reign of peace, with polygamy and child sex slavery and child slavery for the boys, girls get to be breeders, and murder if you are thinking of leaving the church or divorcing your polygamist husband, and the tithing will be converted into the law of consecration. So you don't give 10%, you have to give everything to the church, and they allow you a dump to live in, and so forth. That's what they're going to pull on that one. And so this apartment here, for example, if it survives, this will be given to a Russian who's here to do work in the mines for uranium for Putin as part of the business deal trade with the kingdom of Jesus Christ. They're going to have to change the name of the kingdom. Instead of the kingdom of Zion, it's the kingdom of Jesus Christ. So, gotta use the name. Jesus is angry. Lucifer laughs. Oh my God. He really plays you guys for dumb. Literally. I mean, you get mad at me. Why aren't you mad at Nelson? I mean, my hell. He has no respect for you at all. He thinks you are dumb and are just going to believe whatever he tells you. And so you miss it. You miss the codeine and all of that because you're brainwashed. You become his weapon. But yeah, this is a pretty serious thing because Putin's escalating the nukes, and so I mean, until he actually drops the bomb, I wouldn't hold much water on what his threats are. But I think Trump getting arrested has a bigger chance of civil war than nuclear war from Putin, because everybody's waiting on pins and needles for him to get indicted. They're coming out with fake photos of Trump trying to flee, getting caught and carried off. Oh, it's just hilarious. But yeah, everybody's waiting for him to get locked up. So I guess I could check, see if he's getting locked up. Oh, man. I'm getting hot flashes. What's up with that, women? Men aren't supposed to have hot flashes, are they? But yeah, I'm watching House of Cards also, and I'm in the second season still. And yeah, Claire is having hot flashes. And then it came out that she was pregnant and had an abortion. And then she said it was because of the rape soldier. Former Mormon shares emotional coming out story on The Voice. And now everyone's eyes are watering. Well, he's been excommunicated now. Oh, right, former Mormon. Got it. Was it Nashville, where the school shooting was at a Christian school by a transgender? Yeah, we all know exactly what happened with that case. That's a no-brainer. The person was bullied to the point where they thought that violence was the only way to settle it and blow everybody away. Why, Microsoft? Why? Give me the news. See message shooter sent minutes before massacre. Hear what Trump supporters think will happen if Trump is indicted. That's CNN. So I'll get to that one in a minute here after I finish this video. So yeah, it doesn't look like they rendered a verdict today in the grand jury. I'm not seeing anything. There would be big news if that were the case. So, alrighty. If they're using AI for their ad placements and news placements, like on YouTube, if they're using AI to recommend things for me, AI sucks. I'm sorry. They have no clue what I'm looking for and what I want. I'm sorry. Everybody else is concerned AI is going to, ruin things and take over Terminator stuff, but I'm not worried. I know how the system works. I know how they're programmed by man, and thus they have a programming error in them. And so they're not technically AI, but they'll never get to be intelligent, self-intelligent, because they're artificial. The whole purpose of being defined as artificial is that they will never be real. But that's, people just don't think about these things. And everybody gets panicked and scared. It's like cloning. Everybody was concerned that the scientists that were working on cloning and the man in China who had finally cloned a sheep and had it published in a scientific journal and then was banished from his job and had to flee for his life from China for having done that. It's not complicated. It was real simple when I read the article. He took a nucleus from a female, stripped it of everything inside, and then took the cell of another, put it in the stripped egg or female cell, and ta-da! No big deal. And you got Christians who think that, oh no, you're playing God. No. First of all, you got the wrong God. So you got the whole wrong concept of how human biology works. But no, it's not complicated at all. And again, when you take the learning of the Jews, life doesn't begin until the birth of the baby. But nobody wants to consider the Jewish religion in their argument between pro-life and pro-choice. It's just dumb. The whole thing is just dumb. People just don't think. And so, that's the main message today. People just don't think. You're shaming Joseph Smith by saying it's the Church of Jesus Christ. And Nelson is directly in violation with Jesus of the Scriptures. It's just hilarious. So yeah, millennial kingdom is delayed. And it's important because, as I've uncovered, the signs in the heavens, these are the latter days. The latter days ends It's over. No more prophecies after April 2024. That's it. One more year. We're done. And if the enemy chooses not to go through with it, the day that shall burn as an oven, civil war, overthrow of governments, finishing of the temple square, yeah, they can actually prove to mankind that the prophecies are false, except that nobody knows these prophecies. Everybody's got their own idea of how the prophecies are supposed to go, like rapture, and all the Christian mess that comes out of it. And so that's going to cause some problems, as I'm pretty sure that there's going to be some other interferences. And like I said, Utah is not Zion. It's not the place, not the right place. And so, hold on. There will be some things happening this year. Don't be fooled by the news. Say, oh no, it's delayed. Because, you know, one thing, they'll probably pull a miracle out of their bleeps. But, no, there's something's up. We've got the economy that's about to collapse because nobody wants to take care of the debt. And we've got civil war on the brink with Trump's militants once he gets arrested. And I hope the FBI lets the news in on Trump's arrest so that they can be there waiting for the FBI as they take him away. Oh, the biggest event that everybody's anticipating. And there's still at least 3 other cases that he could be indicted for as well. They needed to do the insurrection first. That would have disqualified him from running for president. They blew that one. Because he'll just get bailed out for the Stormy Daniels. Well, it's civil. It's civil. But no, it is actually criminal, isn't it? It's the district attorney that's doing it. Because he's been getting death threats and he got powder sent to him. And yeah. So because of the crimes involved, because Michael Cohen was blabbing, so that he can get a deal away from the other crimes that he's been committing. Yeah, okay. But, yeah, whatever. I'm just blabbing now. So, yeah, Millennial Kingdom postponed indefinitely.